Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. So I'm doing a live Google Hangout just because it's the easiest way to do one of these studio updates. This is not going to be long. Yeah, so studio update, Monday, September 7th, 2015. If you haven't noticed, I haven't really been very active on the channel lately. A couple reasons for that. I mean, not the least of which is I've just been busy. Work is busy, and I'm involved with a big project outside of work that just takes a lot of time. But certainly, the flux of Warhammer Fantasy, the state of flux that it's in right now, is a big part of the problem too. And it's funny if you look around at the YouTube scene of people doing shows and how so many of them have gone to other systems. I mean, it's really there's been a huge shakeup lately, and uh, I've been playing 8th edition games mainly because there have been upcoming tournaments. So we just had a tournament this weekend, Southern Assault in Durham, North Carolina. This is a tournament that I've gone to for I think 4 years now, quite a bit, and it was a lot of fun. It was really great getting back in the hobby again. And you will have 5 battle reports coming up over the next week or two, documenting the tournament. So I hope you enjoy them. Uh, but now, it's funny. I think it's time for me to move on from 8th edition. I'm kind of done with it. I'm angry at Games Workshop anyway. 8th edition is kind of a dead system now, as far as I'm concerned. It's time to figure out which path I want to go down. So here's my next project. I mean, as far as I can tell right now, Kings of War and Warhammer the Ninth Age are the two most likely candidates to capture my attention moving forward. Why not Age of Sigmar? Well, I don't think you're watching my channel too much if you're asking that. But the big reason for Age of Sigmar is that I'm so angry at Games Workshop that I don't feel they deserve my loyalty. They don't. They've done some things so great. They make beautiful models. They had not a monopoly, but a virtual monopoly on this hobby, to where when people came in, if you wanted to play a fantasy battlefield tactics game, you played Warhammer Fantasy. But when the best thing they have going for them is just simply the fact they've been around so long and have the biggest following, that's a problem when they kind of screw that up. So they've kind of chased away a lot of old players. I think Age of Sigmar, I've said it before, I think it's going to develop its own little following of people. I don't know if they'll figure out a way to make a tournament scene. I don't think the Games Workshop cares. For me, it's not the game that I love. And if I was going to switch to a game like that, I think I would just go to Malifaux or Warhammer Hordes or something. So I don't see the point. Malifaux and Warhammer Hordes are on my radar only to the extent that if I can't find an alternative that closely resembles what I'm used to doing, then I'll try those game systems out. But Kings of War and Warhammer the Ninth Age seem like they may do what I want them to do. And quite frankly, I've been so excited over the last few years with the U.S. National Masters scene. I mean, it wasn't just about going to this national tournament and figuring out who's the best player in the country, because it's a dice game, and I'm not sure it really does that. But there was such energy behind it, and a sense of connecting with people all over the United States, talking with people all over the world that were following this scene because it was kind of cool. I've really enjoyed the ETC things going on over in Europe, and just these big communities of players. And I don't know moving forward what those organizations are going to do. If they're going to choose Kings of War, they're going to choose Ninth Age, or they're going to do something else, they're going to dissolve. I don't know. But I think the best thing for me to do is to evaluate those two systems, decide what I like, and use my channel as a means of conveying that to people. And hopefully we have a big enough following for a game that meets my interests and my viewers' interests. So here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to start off with Kings of War, because the Ninth Age hasn't quite finished their beta version yet. So they need some more time. That's fine. I'm going to play a couple games off camera, not taking pictures, not doing reports, just to learn the rules, get a sense of it. After 2 or 3 games, once I figure out if hopefully I know how to play the game, I'm going to play at least 3 games, take pictures, make battle reports, and in addition to showing the game to you as the games progress, after those 3 or whatever games, doing an evaluation of what I think of it as a gaming system. So Let me be upfront about my biases. Here's what I think I like about Kings of War, and what I think I don't like about it. So what I think I do like about it, I actually really like that you don't remove models from the bases. It's like cleaning up after games, and especially at a tournament, trying to reset for the next game, I find very, very tedious. And so the thought that you can just create a unit and have it be a unit and be done with it, I actually like that a lot. I like that the games are a little bit faster. Warhammer games can really bog down. In a tournament, 2.5 hours is still kind of a long game, but when friends come over and play at my house, games are usually 3.5 hours. Now, granted, we're not trying to be fast. We're having a beer or whatever, but still. Mantic seems like they're somewhat responsive. I've been pretty impressed with how they've come out with new armies. When they saw that the Games Workshop just totally dropped the ball and they wanted to pick up that customer base, they jumped on it. And that's a level of responsiveness that certainly Games Workshop has never had. So I like that. I've heard that in Kings of War, the dice don't matter quite as much. It's still a dice rolling game. Things can happen. You have to adapt to bad luck. But in Warhammer, I mean, let's face it, we've all had games where just something insanely unlikely happens, and that just changes the game. And if you're just playing for laughs, I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess. But especially as for a tournament game, you want to tone that down a little bit. So I'm not looking to play chess. I like the element of chance, but if Kings of War tones down the game breaking part of it, that the game breaking part that the dice have right now, I think that'd be a good thing. I think it's cheaper and easier to start a new army, or more importantly, it's cheaper and easier for new people to begin the hobby. And so that's really nice. The bad things going into it. I've only even watched one game, so I don't know. It seemed to me that it was very, very simplistic compared to what I'm used to in 8th edition. That there were just less decisions to make. The magic phase seems like it. I mean, I like that the magic phase doesn't usually break open a game. That it augments, it helps, but it doesn't win or lose it. So I kind of like that. But at the same time, I'm going to miss all the decisions you make in the magic phase. So I need to see if that's a fair criticism or not. Is it too simplistic, or is it still a good strategy game? I've heard some people complain that there's not quite enough variety between units and between armies. That it's like most things are about the same, and there's little very minor subtle differences between them. If that's the case, maybe that's why it comes across as a fairly balanced game. Oh, I should have put that on my good list, that it has a rumor of being pretty balanced. So I guess the nice side is it's balanced. The bad side is it might be balanced because there's just not too much variety. I don't know. We'll check it out. I'll report back on what I think, or you can tell me what you think after having seen some battle reports. Yeah, so we'll see. I want to give it, give it a shot. Then Ninth Age. What I like about Ninth Age is that I like Warhammer. There are things that frustrate me, but if they basically take Warhammer and then just tweak the things that frustrate everybody, then it's still a good game. You saw this epic fantasy battlefield tactics game, and I like that. I mean, tons of variety, tons of really cool stuff. But it's almost the opposite of Kings of War in some way. I mean, it's a high barrier to entry for new players. Because it's still lots of models, really big units, all that kind of stuff. But I do like the game complexity of it. It's the thing I already know. I like that a lot. I like the idea of taking the game that I love and somebody just tweaking the bad things out of it. I like that a whole lot. My biggest concern with it, and I know that some people developing Ninth Age watch my channel because they've emailed me. A couple of them have. So I can tell you my feedback right now is that Ninth Age is changing too much. And the irony of that is I really don't care what you change down the road. But here at the beginning, the best chance Ninth Age has to get the current Warhammer 8th edition fantasy players to switch to that is to change as little as possible. Change the things that frustrate people, make it the better game, and then every 5 years you can come out with a new edition like Games Workshop did, and you can change whatever you want, and you already have a following and things can go. But my big concern right now is they're changing too much. And when I try to talk people into playing it, some people are concerned about that. They're like, I don't like that change they made. It wasn't necessary. I like the way that part used to play. Why'd they change it? So they say they want to be responsive. And I'm not saying that they're, if they don't listen to me, they're not responsive. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if they pay attention to the many voices that I hear where people are concerned that they're changing too much, I'm hoping they'll tone it down, take those great ideas they have, put it in a folder and bring it out for the next edition, the 10th age or whatever. Yeah. Now there's some concern where people say, ninth age is not a supported game. And I've talked about this before, and it really kind of makes this eye twitch a little bit when I think about it. To say it's not supported, there are game developers that support it very actively. It's not supported only in the sense that it's not a company selling models in a game store so that game stores are promoting it. And to that, I would say game stores don't really promote a lot of games. What happens is people play games in game stores, and you can play games, ninth age, in a game store as long as you buy stuff from that game store. Buy your modeling materials, buy your paint. You're still buying models, buy models there. You can buy Games Workshop models, Mantic models. You can buy Reaper models, buy stuff there, and they will let you play there. And what brings new players into the hobby is not somebody walking down the aisle say, "Oh, I want to play this game system because this box looks cool." They see people playing, and they see them having fun, and they say, "Oh, I want to play that." And then, especially if there's a big tournament scene, and they get exposed to that. If they like that kind of thing, they play the game that's being played there. So that's a bad side, but that's a downside of ninth age. It's just not a downside for me. It's a downside in some people's perceptions. So yeah, so that's the studio update. That's what I'm going to do over the next couple weeks. I'm going to put out 5 battle reports, and then I over the 2 weeks after that, I don't know if I'm going to have time. I just don't know. But sometime in the next month or two, you're going to start seeing me focus on Kings of War for a little bit, and that doesn't mean I've switched to it. It means I'm evaluating it, and then you're going to see me switch to Ninth Age and evaluate that, and then we're going to come back and talk about it and see which one I think is the better option moving forward. And then you're going to see me throw my weight behind that and try to get the U.S. National Masters to adopt whatever I think is best. So, not that I carry that much weight with it, but at least it would be a public, somewhat systematic evaluation of the two game systems. So, yeah, so that's the studio update. That's what you can expect to see from me. And then based on whatever system I adopt is going to dictate what you see moving forward. So that's it. See you around the near future.